All right, dude. What is your name and what do you do?
So my name is Zach Blake, and for work, I work at Guts Church, and I oversee our audio, lights, video, those kinds of things. Run sound on Sundays and Wednesdays for services, and do maintenance and upkeep, installs, any kind of fun stuff like that. I also work Fridays at Barnett Music Exchange in Bixby at a music store.
Dope. Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in southeast Kansas. I was born in Parsons, Kansas. Lived in Cherryville, which these are both tiny, tiny towns that most people have never heard of. I lived there, grew up there until I was 16, and then I moved to Tulsa.
Awesome. That's awesome. What did you want to be when you grew up? When you were like a little kid and you were thinking, I want to be this, what did you want to be?
To be real honest, I don't know that I ever really thought about that. I remember being in like preschool, and my dad was a truck driver all my life growing up, and I remember drawing like pictures. Like I was really big into art and stuff. I like drawing. I never really saw that as a career because most of the people that I had in my life that I looked up to didn't have like artistic jobs. I didn't really view that as an option. To me, it was always, you've got to work hard to make money. You've got to do the jobs that people don't want to do. And my dad loved his job being a truck driver. So that was one thing I remember as a kid, like drawing pictures and being like, man, be just like my dad, be a truck driver. But again, I lived in a very sheltered world where a lot of jobs that are, creative or artistic, like the things I do now, I didn't even know were an option because I was in a small town and sheltered.
That's dope. What's the hardest thing you've ever been through?
Wow. My parents passing away was really, really tough. My mom took her life when I was 16, and then 2 weeks later, my dad and my stepmom were T-boned by a drunk driver. So losing my parents at a really, really young age was really tough. But, the last year and a half has been really tough too. I went through finding out that I had chronic kidney disease, which I had no idea about, and thinking things were going to get better and them not, going to the hospital, having to start dialysis for a year, and then, inevitably getting a kidney transplant. That was really, really hard, but also, I learned a lot from it. So it's hard to say which was harder, but those are definitely the hardest things I've ever been through in my entire life.
Yeah. What's the two best things that have ever happened to you?
Two best things that ever happened to me, I would have to say absolutely moving to Tulsa. So just, and seeing God's goodness through my parents passing away. Because when they passed away, I moved in with my aunt and uncle here in Tulsa, which was really scary at the time, going from a really, really, again, small town where I was sheltered from a lot of things to, in my mind, Tulsa was like New York City. Obviously it's not, I'm familiar with everything now being here for 10 years. But just being surrounded by them, having them as a support system, and meeting all the close friends that I have now, both through, again, just living here, getting plugged in the local church at Guts, and having such a great friend group, and then I would say also, meeting my wife and getting married, and yeah.
Shout out K Blake.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the interview, bro. Love you, dude.
Yeah, love you too, man. Thanks.